3, 2, and 1. Welcome to another episode of the Capital Gains Tax Solutions Podcast, also streamed on Expert CRE Secrets Podcast, where we believe most high net worth individuals and those who help them, they struggle with clarifying their capital gains tax deferral options. Not having a clear plan is the enemy, and using a proven tax deferral strategy, such as the Deferred Sales Trust, is one of the best ways, if not the best way, for you to exit highly appreciated cryptocurrency businesses, primary homes, save a failed 1031 exchange, so you can create and preserve more wealth, or help your clients, friends, and family do the same. I'm your host, Brett Swarts. In each episode, I'm joined by some of the best real estate, financial, wealth, and leadership minds in the world, where they share their ideas, deal stories, and inspiration. So together we can make complex tax deferral strategies simple and passive income plans achievable. Hey, I'm excited about our next guest. He's out of the great state of Florida in the Miami area. He's an entrepreneur. He's a real estate developer. He's a self-made millionaire. He's an investor and mentor, and he is a man of God, and so much more. Please welcome to the show with me, Edwin Carrion. Edwin, how are we doing?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for having me here. And to everybody listening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you're listening in. And let me just correct one thing. I am not a self-made millionaire. I am a God-made millionaire, because everything that I have earned, everything where I am, is because of the grace of God and all the people that support me and my team.
Amazing. Love that, Edwin. Great way to start. And on that same theme, would you tell us a little bit more about your story and your current focus?
Yes, my story, quick version is born in Ecuador, raised by a single mother, came to the United States at 12 years old, joined the United States Marine, left the United States Marine, and started my entrepreneurship journey. And now I focus in four businesses, which one of them is my God-given talent of teaching motivated individuals, young entrepreneurs, how to scale their business to the millions.
Amazing. And, Edwin, I believe you've all been given certain gifts in this life. And I also believe that with our God-given gifts, and they've been given to us to be a blessing and help to others. So I want you to go back to the younger days, the younger Edwin, maybe the high school days. And, I'm curious, what are those one or two gifts that you believe you were given? And how do those gifts help how you help and bless people today?
Yeah, I mean, the two gifts that I've been given, number one is be good at business, be able to start something from scratch, make it big, and then sell it. So that's one of the biggest blessings, which I'm bringing back to people. But the second biggest one is learning at a young age how to live a fulfilled life, how to live life to the fullest, like I call it. And right now, to me, that's my biggest message, because we're in a world and we're in a time that is a dark world, and a lot of people are focusing to attaining something that is not within their power, within their desire. And that's why there's so many people that are really not happy with their lives, not happy with where they are today, very sad. So to me, it's bringing that, getting out of their lives and teaching them that you can have a fulfilled life in all areas of your life, whether it's financially, relationship, business, and personally.
Which leads us right into the topic at hand, which is how to get the most out of life. By the way, if you want to get in touch with Edwin Carrion right now, you can go to edwincarrion.com. That's EDWINCARRION.com. He's also on the social media as well. But Edwin, let's dive right into that. What's the number one secret to getting the most out of life?
Number one secret is having faith. And what I mean by having faith is that if you don't have faith on a higher power, and to me, I believe in God, so I respect what everybody believes in, but to me, my faith is my God. So I have complete faith in God, and that's what has gotten me, to where I am today, to have all the material things that I have in my life, to have all the personal things that I have in my life, and the non-material things, which are the most important ones, meaning that I'm able to create these amazing, amazing experiences with my family, with my kids, with my wife. And that is the only thing I could ever leave behind. So having faith is number one. And at the end of the day, if you're a non-believer, that you don't believe in anything, you need to have faith in yourself, because the moment that we start having faith in ourselves, the sky is the limit.
Got it. So number one is having faith in God, a complete faith in God. Number two is having faith in yourself, believing that you can do and succeed and be successful. Is that a fair summary so far?
That's exactly the same. And you know what? That one of the things is, and I always put this example is, when I was in the Marine Corps. In the Marine Corps, they break you down so much into believing you're not worth it at all, and then from there they bring you up. And once you're in the title of a United States Marine, It's like you're like the hottest thing walking on earth, meaning that there's nobody that can take you down. You're invincible. So thinking of that way is, they make you have that faith in you where no matter what happens, no matter what people tell you, no matter what people think of you, pretty much it doesn't matter. All that matters is what you think of yourself, how you see yourself, how you look at yourself. And that's having strong faith in yourself.
Excellent. I love that. Thank you for your service, by the way. And that is a great insight. They break you down and then they bring you back up, and they mold you to have a strong belief in yourself and your abilities. I think that is awesome. So what's the number 3 secret? Number 1 is having faith in God. Number 2 is having faith in yourself. Number 3 secret to how to get the most out of life.
Number 3 secret is never give up. Don't give up. And a lot of times, a lot of people, and including me, we tend to want to give up on certain things. And I always go back and I give this example that if you really think back when you were a child and you were learning how to ride a bicycle, you started riding the bicycle, you couldn't do it, you fell down, and your dad was there to tell you, or your dad or your mom or whoever was teaching you at the moment, get back up again, dust yourself up, get back up again and try it. And we kept trying and we kept trying and we kept trying until finally we're able to ride a bicycle. And, as time goes by, you ride a bicycle without thinking about it. Now, 40 something years later, 30 something years later, after I learned how to ride a bike, I get on a bike, I don't have to think about it twice, and it's just automatically, right? But what happens to a lot of people is that when times get tough, they tend to give up. They stop working on it, and they never get to the point of learning how to successfully do it. So it's never giving up, because if you go back and think about when you learn how to ride a bicycle or when you learn how to do something as a kid and how many times it took until you become good at it, if you bring that same philosophy to yourself as an adult, you're going to be successful because you're not giving up, meaning that you're going to continue going and going and going until you finally succeed. It's going to take some time, but you're eventually going to make it.
I think I actually absolutely love that. And that makes sense. Never to give up and to keep pressing forward. I've also heard it said, Edwin, that there's really 2 motivators in life. There's pain and there's purpose, right? And at first we're here, and part of it's just survival, right? And you have a chance to get the basic necessities of life, and the basic needs of life and basic desires. And pain is that motivator, but pain is not as strong of a motivator as purpose. In fact, pain is just temporary, because once you're through that pain, we tend to relax or coast, right? It's just human nature. And when we relax and coast, and we don't have a clear purpose, then we ultimately start to feel pain again, because part of it is we're not living out our God-given abilities. We're not living to our full potential. And all of a sudden we're finding out that, wait, just because I'm out of pain and I have, the food and maybe the nice car and the home and the, safe community and good education for my kids, it can feel empty, because it's just so external, right? It's so external. Yes. And versus the internal things that really drive us, which is purpose and meaning and our faith, right? And in building our character and all of the things that move us to purpose or something beyond ourselves. So talk about that correlation. And I want you to go to a place in your life, Edwin, when you were in the pain, but then you moved to purpose. And what was that kind of that tipping point for you? What's that story? What's that moment or that season of your life where everything changed for you?
So let's go back, and I love the way that you put pain and purpose, because that's exactly going back into the Marine Corps, because today is my Marine Corps Day topic day. We're getting closer to the Marine Corps birthday, so close to Memorial Day. So let's talk about this. So while I was in the Marines, there's a saying, pain is weakness leaving the body. So when I first started in boot camp, I hated running and I didn't like running, and I was overweight. And when I started running, it used to hurt so much. But again, when you start putting that mentality, pain is weakness leaving the body, once you get over that weakness and once you surpass that weakness, then there's no longer pain. And then it becomes the purpose of having a healthy body, enjoying what you do, and having that purpose of I need to continue doing this because this is what I like. So whatever you start doing that might be hard for you, we tend not to like. But then eventually, once we overcome that obstacle, we tend to love what we do, and that becomes purposeful. Meaning for me to grow a business at the beginning, yes, it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of headaches, it's figuring out how to put the systems in place, figuring out how to put the processes in place. But once I overcome those small obstacles, which is the pain, then it becomes the purpose part. What is the purpose of this business? What do we create? How big do I want it to get? And it's not all about money, it's about, how many people can I employ? Because I know for a fact my purpose is that the bigger my company gets, the more people I employ, means the more families that I'm able to support, I help out. And that becomes the purpose of some of my businesses.
I absolutely love that how you circled it from starting with your pain and your growth, like such as the Marines and your health, right? Something that was personal. And then you move beyond that to your purpose to be able to, help others, right? And to employ others and to solve those challenges for business owners. So let's dive into that. When you touched on that, how you bought businesses and you help others perhaps improve their business or buy businesses and do this. So tell us about how you help entrepreneurs or you help people get some financial freedom.
Yes, I mean, number one is again getting what you said, financial freedom, because a lot of people don't understand what financial freedom is. Friend, they understand, oh, I make 6 figures, 7 figures a year, but they're not financially free. They're very unhappy because they're not able to walk away from the business. So to me, I run 4 companies, like I mentioned at the beginning, and I only work between 15 to 20 hours a week, meaning that I have plenty of time to do the things that I want to do. And how do you break that cycle? How do you get from uh, owning a business and the business owning you to becoming a business owner or an investor, the way kind of that I look at it, right? So that's exactly what I help and I teach people do. I teach them how to scale their businesses, set it up for an exit and able to exit that company, or I teach them and I help them how is it that you could systemize this company so the company survives without you. Because what ends up happening a lot of times, and some of the businesses that I purchase, is that the owner of the business, if he were to pass away, that business will not survive. Meaning that the moment that the business does not survive, their family, it's their luck runs out. So it's creating a business that is sustainable, that is going to live through a recession, and at the same time that if they were to walk away, that business continues running day in and day out without their need. So how do you create that? And that takes a lot of experience and knowledge of how to get to that point. And then eventually getting to the point of achieving financial freedom, which is selling your business. Because a lot of people think, I'm making X amount of money in my business and I'm doing good. Why should I sell it? But the one thing that people don't understand is that the moment that you sell a business, you gain time back. And that is the one commodity we can never gain and we can never buy. So if you're able to buy your time back 4 or 5 years ahead of time, then you're learning to live life to the fullest and become financially free.
Amazing. I love all of that. In a moment, we're going to talk about when people do exit and they maybe have some capital gains tax and maybe some things that you've helped with that or some strategies you've used personally. It's part of the topic of the show. But before we go there, I want to touch on what you said there. I love the way you said it. Scale and systematize to be able to survive without you, or scale and systematize to be able to exit, right? And retire altogether, get your time back. So what is the one secret or the most surprising secret you learned during these last 2 years of an ever-changing marketplace, right? With a lot of different challenges that you are saying, this is like the big domino. Like if you're going to do this and you're going to be serious about getting your time and your energy back and be able to scale into exit, Edwin, what's the one thing, if you talk to that entrepreneur or that business owner, that real estate, operator, syndicator, what's that thing? And help us a little bit here.
Yes. Number one is that you have to know what kind of vehicle each one of your business has. And in order for you to do that, you need to know that you need to be diversified. So going back into my business, I know what each one of my businesses is. And once you learn that, what kind of vehicle it is, so you need to have multiple sources of income. I mean, you're not talking about capital gains. You could explain more into this, but and I'll give you an example. My transportation company is my cash flow business. That's the business that gives me continuous cash flow. So that's my cash flowing vehicle. My development business is my wealth creation vehicle, meaning that's the company that's going to continue creating my wealth for myself and future generations. And my investment company, my technology company, it's my passive income vehicle, meaning that is the type of vehicle that is going to create passive income on my hard-earned money. Now, can I create more money if I work at it? Yes, of course. But do I want to continue working or do I want to gain my time back? So we need to have the passive income vehicle. And then my last one is my God-given talent, which is giving back, because eventually we have to become some type of philanthropist in the future. So it's giving my time back and helping entrepreneurs, helping people achieve the level of success that I achieve. And at the same time, I invest my own money with them. So I start creating more passive income, I start creating more generational wealth. And at the same time, I start creating more millionaires, taking people and helping them grow by making them understand that I believe in them. And that's why I invest my own capital with them. So understanding what your income sources are and why you're doing each one of those.
Oh, that's so well. I've never heard it put it that way. I love that. It's your transportation business is your cash flow business. It's like maybe one of the more active ones. And that's like, hey, I can depend upon this cash flow that's going to maybe pay for my expenses plus some. Then I have my development business, which is like, hey, I'm going to try to hit the doubles and triples and the home runs. It's going to longer term wealth and building. Then you have the passive income vehicle, which you also are investing other assets that aren't taking up as much as your time. You're clarifying the roles for the businesses and the investments is what you're doing. And you're understanding what those vehicles are. And the last one is just giving back, philanthropy, maybe coaching and helping others to build wealth, which ultimately, you give and you tend to receive. The more we give, the more tend to receive. And it creates other opportunities and other ways to build wealth. Is that a fair summary?
Well, that's exactly. You got it perfectly right on the spot.
Excellent. Well, that's amazing. That's fantastic. I love all of that. By the way, if you want to learn more about Edwin Carrion, you can go to edwincarrion.com. Also look him up on social media. So let's talk about capital gains tax, right, Edwin? Because at the end of the day, you mentioned something about time freedom, financial freedom, right? But guess what? Capital gains tax is a huge barrier to some people from selling their assets and being able to live off of that passively, or even be more entrepreneurial with the capital. So I'm curious, what's the biggest frustration that you've seen for sellers when it comes to exiting highly appreciated businesses, cryptocurrency, or real estate? Sometimes it's 25 to 50% of their gain is going to be wiped out with capital gains tax and depreciation recapture, depending on what state that you live in, of course, and the asset type. But what's the biggest frustration you've seen when it comes to that, Edwin?
Having to pay that. I think that's the biggest frustration, right? Having to pay that and not knowing what to do in order for you not to pay all those taxes. Because the way that I look at it is like, I'd rather have myself a nice airplane. I'd rather have myself a nice yacht. I'd rather buy myself an exotic car versus me having to just give that money to Uncle Sam. So how do we go about that? And, you could explain more on that. But, I think the biggest frustration is learning that you don't have to pay it, but you could use it for things that you like and that you want, that is going to, create those memories, because it's not about fulfillment. It's about, what memories can I create with my family by having that yacht, by having that plane, by having that exotic car.
Absolutely love that. Yeah. And in fact, we call this the, tax flow versus cash flow. We are also, I guess, trained in, a lot of people talk about cash flow, and that's so important, but it's also tax flow. And increasingly so it's tax flow, because guess what? Taxes are going higher. And guess what? The debt is going higher. So the government is taxing us more. And for those who have advantageous legal means to defer capital gains taxes, or ways to be efficient with your tax, it changes everything. In fact, this is part of why we start Capital Gains Tax Solutions. We have a thing called a Deferred Sales Trust that works for business sales, works for real estate, primary homes, cryptocurrency, can save a failed 1031 exchange. But it gives you more than just tax deferral, Edwin. It gives you some of the things we were talking about. It gives you time freedom. You can be completely passive. It also gives you entrepreneurial freedom. Guess what? A lot of entrepreneurs want to get out of their business to go start another business, but they're not sure how to get out without having to pay the tax. And so they stay in their business. Or that real estate deal that you've owned for 27 and a half years and is fully depreciated, and you're afraid of the 1031 exchange. Well, we eliminate the 1031 exchange. We call it the Netflix version of exit planning for the entrepreneur or high net worth individual that most people just don't even know about, or how to execute. And it gives you so many of these freedoms that if you want to be active or passive, you want to be retired, or you want to be into cryptocurrency or out of cryptocurrency, out of a business, into real estate, out of real estate. And if you want to learn more about this, you go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com and you can get your tax flow plan on. We also have a free mastermind every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern. You can check out our ebook as well. That being said, Edwin, if you had a strategy to help your clients or partners or people exit in a way that's transformational, do you feel like more people would exit?
Oh, definitely, of course. I think if they understand how the exits work, and like I said at the beginning, that you do gain your time back. But at the same time, if you have the right partner in place or the right accountant or the right tax specialist that is going to help you avoid, paying all those taxes, because I think another one of those big hurdles is that when I exit, I'm going to get taxed so much money. So might as well just continue working. So if you really learn how to do that and how to avoid paying taxes the legal way, again, the sky's the limit.
It's a game changer. Absolutely. And if you want to learn more about that, again, go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. That being said, Edwin, are you ready for the lightning round?
Let's do it.
All right. Knowing what you know now, if you could go back to your 25-year-old self, what's the one golden nugget you'd make sure to tell yourself to do?
Keep doing everything you did. Don't change one thing.
Excellent. Question number 2, what's the one book you've recommended or gifted the most in the past year?
Secret Business from the Bible. And it's written by a rabbi. I think to me is the biggest and the best book. And especially for people that, that believe in God. There's a lot of negative beliefs around being successful and having money. And that book just opens up your mind to how much abundance you could have in your life.
Beautiful. Secret Business from the Bible.
Business Secrets from the Bible.
Business Secrets from the Bible. Okay, got it. Excellent. I'm going to check it out for sure. Question number 3. What are you most curious about right now?
I'm most curious about how my book is going to do once it comes out. And the good thing is coming out at the perfect moment because we are in a recession and people are looking for a way to create money and sustain wealth during a recession. So my book, Secrets of the Millionaire Gold Mine, is coming out soon within the next couple of weeks.
Excellent. Secrets of the Millionaire Gold Buyer. By the way, you can defer capital gains taxes on the sale of gold too, right? Using the Deferred Sales Trust. I had to plug that, Edwin, because most people don't realize it works for every asset type. Man, by the way, I didn't even know this book was coming out. I probably should have done some of my research. Edwin, let's talk about this book real fast, man. What's the number one secret to being a gold buyer?
Number one secret is learning how to buy gold. And that's so simple because a lot of people don't understand. That's exactly how I created a lot of my wealth during the last recession. And I was able to get back on top after going bankrupt. And right now is the time to do it. If you hear anywhere, we are in a recession. People are just not looking at it, but we are in a recession. And it's going to hit us hard next year. So if you're prepared for it, if you're prepared how to get out of a recession, or if you have money, learn how to create more wealth and increase wealth during a recession. This is the way to go. This is the way to do it.
Edwin, I don't know if you know this, but I just invested into a gold mine. And I know this sounds kind of wild. And I never thought I'd invest into a gold mine here in California too, by the way. And so far it's going really, really well. And it might be one of the best investments ever. And it's exciting to say the least. But I'm like really a novice. I'm a real estate, multifamily investor, broker, grew up in the development business with my parents. So gold is like, it's like a foreign language to me, right? It's really a different world, but I have a small investment into a gold mine. So I would love to offline chat with you about that. Very cool. When is the book coming out one more time, Edwin?
Well, we have the launch date by November 5th. So it'll be out by November 5th.
Excellent. Maybe we'll have you back on for another episode once that's all launched. That'd be really cool. Second to last question. What's your favorite leadership theme or quote that you strive to live by?
Well, I wouldn't say a quote, but actually, no, I do. The one that I teach a lot of people, and I always like leaving people with a quote is, if you do not know where you're going, you will eventually get there. And I think to me, that's one of the most important ones because it falls into, one of my secrets of what I believe, which is, having a vision board and creating a business plan.
Perfect. If you don't know where you're going, writing it down, by the way, for the pause there. If you don't know where you're going, you're eventually going to get there, right? Absolutely. And if you don't have your vision board or if you've done your business planning for 2023, now's a great time, everybody. It's already in November. Thanksgiving's going to be here, then Christmas. And, business planning, so important. Vision board, so important. My wife and I did our first big vision board last year, and I actually have it right here by my desk. Look at it every single day. So I encourage you guys to do vision board planning as well as business planning. Last question, Edwin, after all your success, helping all the people you've helped, buying all the gold you've bought, overcoming the pain, finding your purpose in life, serving a lot of people, all of the things you've done, I'm curious, what's the number one habit that you practice to stay centered in your values and stay encouraged to charge forward to reach even higher heights?
Yes. Affirmations. always doing affirmations. And if you don't know what an affirmation is, it's being grateful for everything that you have in your life, meaning that having that routine that every morning you wake up and just look at yourself in the mirror and be grateful for everything that you have in your life, for everything that you have accomplished, because we don't give enough credit to ourselves. So the moment that you start giving credit to yourself and telling yourself, you did a great job at this, how grateful you are for that, and just for being alive and being healthy, life goes a long way.
Edwin, Carrion, I want to thank you for being on the show. I'm better for it. I know our listeners are too. I want to encourage you to keep using the gifts and talents you've been given, which is to be good at business, right? Help people start from scratch and to build it, to be able to exit and create generational wealth, as well. How to live life to the fullest, right? And how to help others do the same. And so appreciate you sharing a part of your faith, part of your story, and being here. And for our listeners who want to get in touch with you, would you remind them one last time, what's the best place for them to find you?
Yeah, best place is all my social media channels, Edwin Carrion 78, or my website, Edwin Carrion, but Edwin Carrion 78. And if you have a question, if you have a comment, just send me a message. I'll definitely get back to you. If you don't ask, you're never going to find out. Like my mentor says, become an asshole.
Excellent. Love it, Edwin. Hey, thank you everyone for listening to another episode of the Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast. As always, we believe most high net worth individuals and those who help them, they struggle with clarifying their capital gains tax deferral options. Not having a clear plan is the enemy, and using a proven tax deferral strategy such as a deferred sales trust is an amazing way for you to exit highly appreciated assets so you can create and preserve more wealth, or help your clients, friends, and family do the same. If we can help you at all, we would highly encourage you. We think we can help you, especially if you're selling a deal that's $1 million net proceeds, $1 million gain. Go to capitalgainstaxes.com with be able to develop an exit plan. Also look for my new book coming out too, Building a Tax Deferred Exit Strategy. And it's a proven playbook for unlocking your wealth plan when selling assets of any kind for yourself or for your clients. We have people like Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank and some others that are in the book that are really smart. So check that out. Again, that's capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. We also thank everybody who's listening to us on Expert CRE Secrets podcast and YouTube channel as well. I think you gained some valuable knowledge here with building wealth for your clients as well. So we appreciate everyone out there. And please rate, review, subscribe. Please share this with somebody it could be of help to. We appreciate everyone.